Hi, my name is Albertan Cruz, and today we're going to be talking about the movie I would like to present called Juan-Eyed. It is written and directed by me. So, a little story overview is about a single parent and his two kids who move into a rural small town. But their neighbor is an unusual guy named Juan. It turns out he kind of looks like he's hiding a lot of things. And then at the end of the movie, you figure out that it turns out he's the most wanted man in the world for murders, but it actually turns out to be a good guy. And we'll get into that later. The type of genre and tone is thriller as well as sad. And then an acknowledgement I like to point out is not everything is what it seems to be. And that's going to be a key element at the end of the presentation. So the catalyst is that they move into this small town and notice weird things about Juan. He's hiding, he's being, I don't know, just weird. The obstacle one is that a paper goes into the driveway, a newspaper that they just deliver. His second obstacle is that his kids that just moved in went to Juan's yard to get a ball. Obstacle 3 is the dad has to help find his kids because his kids are missing. He's like, what the heck is happening? The climax is that they find out that Juan is not who Juan says he is. The resolution is they work together in order to help Juan be a free man because Juan comes out and tells him what actually really happened. So the profile one first would be Joey. He is the single dad. And the reason he moved out to this small town was actually because he became broke after his wife died. The character 2 is Chris. It's his oldest son. He's smart but sassy, and he really doesn't know how to be quiet, you know? He's like, I don't know. He just hates authority. It's, for example, would be like a kid that in your class that would be kind of a class clown, but at the same time he's really smart, you know? So the profile 3 would be Richie. It's the dad's youngest kid, and his name is Joe. And as he's Joe's youngest kid, he's kind of sheltered and really doesn't understand what's happening. He understands his mom's dies, but he's a kid, so his dad be like, "Oh, it's fine, don't worry about it." So he really doesn't really know what's happening. But the real reason I like Richie is because it's gonna be able to build him confidence in the movie. You're gonna be able to see this character grow as a person. Juan, of course, like I said, is a scary, huge, smart. He really, like I told you, scary. Like he doesn't really show his face around. He just sticks to himself. And the plot would be taking in Guania, California. It's actually a very, very small town I once visited a couple years back. It's very unmulious. Like the houses are kind of not raggedy, but they're kind of just out and about. They're very old. The inside of the furniture is very old. It just has an old timey small town. It honestly kind of reminds you of your grandma's house. If your grandma connects vintage things, it's just kind of it's kind of eerie, you know. You're just like, oh, I don't know if I want to be here. But the reason it takes place in this small town, like I said, is because Joey's wife died and they don't have enough money, so they have to move out of the big town and go here. And like any kids are, the reason that they're in a small town is because they're broke, so kids can't really do anything in a small town except for explore, so that's why they keep on going everywhere, and that's what leads them to go into Juan's house to retrieve a ball. And the ball is really important because the props we have that are the main importance are the ball. And the reason the ball is so important is because it looks really raggedy, and the only reason is because that was the last object that their mom gave them before she passed away. So it's something that's very sacred to them, something that the plot would really focus on. And I really want this ball and the piece of newspaper that they get to be the main sub props for this. The costumes, I chose Chris's outfit because it's kind of I don't know, he's kind of like a kid that's just I don't know, it's kind of like a skater, you know. He's just ugh. And then for Richie, I kind of chose a soft outfit at first, and then when he starts getting better at the character throughout the movie, he's gonna kind of start dressing more confidently instead of with I don't know, the more closeted kid type experience. And then now he's starting getting kind of mature. So the camera framing, I really, really, really love main shots where it's just main framing in the main frame. It's great. I feel like the ball and the newspaper would be excellent things, and so would Juan be for this. The lighting, I really kind of want it to be an airy, kind of not a lot of monotone type color in the start, and then at the end you want to see more vibrant colors. Just because you're gonna start kind of being like, oh, whoa, this person isn't who they are. They're gonna see growth. You're gonna be like, whoa, this movie completely changed. A 180. So, for the character's name, we chose Chris. example, and the actor's name is Walker. I'm not sure if you've seen him before, but he's amazing as an actor. I watched him in the Adam Project, and I was like, whoa, blown away. Great kid. Also in the new Percy Jackson, great. I feel like you could grow this kid. He can kind of act like he's kind of like tough, but like in reality, he's kind of like, darn, like I'm kind of scared. And then for the dad, I really want Grant. I'm not sure if you guys know who Grant is. I'm not sure if you watched Flash, but he's honestly amazing. He's kind of like a young dad in the aspect of the role in Flash, as well as he's never really played a film like where he's like a dad. So I feel like this would be a great time to express himself. He can act sad and happy at the same time. So I feel like he would be a really, really great main character. So for Richie, I chose Ian Dolly. He's not really a well-known actor. He was really great in The Holdovers. I watched a couple minutes of the movie and I really enjoyed it. It was kind of tough finding a kid. And I was like, hey, this guy's pretty good, He kind of looks soft, kind of looks like he can kind of mature. And then for Juan, the one-eyed Juan, I chose John. I'm not sure if you guys watched him, but in John Wick, he was amazing. Especially as a mechanic, just great. Just great, great, great guy. Overall, I feel like if you were able to put some makeup on him, make him look a little bit older, he'd look pretty scary. He just has that scary looking face. And then for the budget, I honestly really want to go for like around $5 million. A great example of this would be Get Out. The story was so amazing that it actually grossed an insane amount. I think it grossed $256 million in the box office, which is just incredible off of only $5 million budget. And I really want A24 to do it just because they're kind of like an indie studio. And I just feel like they just have great storytelling. Like whoever like would be able to help me produce it would just be phenomenal with this. And then for my audience, I really wanted it to be PG-13. The reason is because I don't want to cut off a lot of potential people that would be able to have watched this. I know a lot of people like want to watch a family movie, and they want to watch a movie that's like 17 or 18 plus because they're like, I'm bringing my kids here. No. So this is about growth, and I want this to be available to the majority of the population. So that's why PG-13 is good, because like if they want, they can take their younger kids, but at the end of the day, like it's honestly probably suitable for kids that age. And then I also really want him to be on streaming platforms. I feel like streaming platforms kind of have a negative hate towards them in the community right now, like the cinema community. But I feel like they'd be really great as leverage. For example, The Office, they get an insane amount of money off of these streaming services just to have them on there. And that's what I want to do. After maybe a month after the movie gets released, I want to have Disney, Netflix, Hulu, all these guys have it for a week. And then after that, after they had like, for example, a little trial period, they're going to start kind of fighting on whoever gets the rights. And that's where we're going to kind of make more money. You can maybe make 5 million, 10 million, as long as we're able to make the production cost back. That's all I really care about. And that's it. That's my movie. Thank you guys.